themselves in the middle of the site. However, some of these FNATs are slowing them down, buying some time for KZ to lean back into the fight and finding a double kill to equalize the man count.
Well, this is it, fighting their way back and forth. Philippox and JV92, suddenly all that's left, and another E1D will make things a bit awkward, but what a catch! You know a player's going to be in that position, and they are just absolutely ran out of town. Leaving Philippox alone, and there's still a lot of utility here. It's in the pockets of Paceto to try and get this plant. We hear the smoke canister go, a crossfire, and a strong opening round from Razah. Can get it more direct. And that'll be perfect for them now. 30 seconds. And look at this position. They're well aware of it. They've recollected the kit. It's a massive fight to win out Philippox, but they're going to plant. Flastry realizes he can try and get this secured, and Philippox opts to try and take the fight flat as well. He's getting himself the brawl, and Philippox clutches it out here. A tentative control here, but KZ, with that Kiva, has a bit more safety. Tucks, moves, and finds a new dangerous location. If it's gone on contested and unknown, it can be pretty deadly. There's one. Can he swing onto the second? He knows that there's this pressure behind him, and he knows Herds has the support. There's a hop in. The Goo Mines will give the game away, so Paceto tucks to try and pull it out, but 15 seconds. Does he even really have the time here? KZ gets caught, goes down. There's another. As Perez drives on towards Fountain, they can see the site. They can see a player starting it back and forth. The 1 versus 1. Surely they go for the kill. The C4 is the connection. JV92.
Minute still counting down. Actually decided to go back and actually play a horizontal.
What can they find other than a camera that reveals that we know that you know? Nade does go down to a nade. And there, the smoke canister right on where they're trying to plant. They've got to try and shuffle their way out. 40 seconds, and Perez takes the head off of Philippox, who wanted a second. KZ, all that's left. They might not know about Nade. They might not know that he's dropped down, and he's waiting, timing it, hoping that he can get an angle. But there's the cover, there's the fight. It's so narrow. They come off the plant. They know they should just go for the kill, and they get it.
Gone quite low in the meantime, but it's Hertz that is holding on. Here. Live, KZ goes and finds Live as he walks into the balcony, and now, well, Flastry, it's up to you to try and break this open as he's putting up the pressure. The Claymore will stop him from running out unless he gets shot. But KZ has just gone unchecked, finds himself a 4th kill as well, and now there's only one left to find for the ace.
I mean, all from the same position as well. Herds means the ace isn't locked out, but emphasized take there. They were outside and angling and positioning. It gave time Furia a chance to rotate their way around slightly deeper, slightly further away from the windows across the two sites. And, well, you come in, we knock you right back out. A minute, and Paceto gone, leaving just the Deimos, who was the man underneath.
This position where Philippox is playing now, KZ was playing their last round. It is such a trouble point for the side of Razah Company. They keep losing too many players to that position in general. And the kit wasn't actually on SDK, it was on Flashy. It was going in sandwich window. Like, I think they tried to go for a bit of a bait and switch, maybe see, like, hey, we're going to do an Archives plan, but actually, we're going to see if we can get it in on the opposite side of the map. He's being challenged now. KZ is trying to go for a bit of an ego swing. He heard that drop, that's for sure. Definitely will hear the AK firing. He's just doing a bit of a jiggle swing. Gets a bit of damage done to Perez, but, well, who's going to win this one? That's going to be the big question. It's KZ.
Well, we said they were 2 players to watch, and they wanted to give you all the fights to their opponents, even if they're on the up and up or on the blow. And you've got to take risks, sure, but the risks they were taking sometimes weren't as well managed. They've definitely improved on that. Perez tears off Herds. They've made sure that the positions they have more to offer them. And there's 2 right back in. Philippox caught as well, and Patience has netted huge rewards here. Furia got 2. Razah, I'm going to say they relaxed, but they were resilient. They made sure that they couldn't get anything else. The positional play here, and now the support. They've gone under, they've got the kid elsewhere. They're going for the 2 versus 1 in this situation. Shows the growth of this roster throughout this tournament. Mad dash, and then you look across the pockets. And yeah, there's nothing to directly throw and get rid of things. The Goo Mine, the C4 all used or utilized, but if it turns into just a swing fight, it's going to be very tricky to get this locked in. You can see the positions. You know, one of them not too far away on the swing from the detention jail side. Nade with the hop out. JV92 does get live. Philippux goes down. They're swinging and just trying to find the fights.
No,
he's got to pull the Goo Mine out. Can he plant? No!
It was two! Of this push.
Well, they're in and they're out immediately. C4 in the cover of the man who could see everything that was happening, and well, it spiraled as the rush did once upon a time for a different team. No, it wasn't really a rush. This has just crumbled on landing. They don't even get the consolation at the top of East, leaving JV92 in an ace or nothing situation. Now he's got a player in Armory that's going to get the kill anyway. A flawless first.
And are lining up to push through Office as Basetto goes aggressive.
All caught out though. Philippux gets the cross and gets himself in, and there's Nade finding another. Now they've been able to have man advantage before, and they've slipped away as it did on their opening attack. So with 30 seconds, can they try and find a formula? No. There is another body gone. Perez steps his way in and then rotates right back out. An explosion doesn't quite rock the player, but JV92 on one and live with the shotgun. Round the corner, gets one, gets traded. 2 versus nobody, and finally Furia find an end to the pain. Tie us right back up. SDK wants it just as much. A minute 40. If they didn't have enough time last time, they are swimming in it now.
Basically, as soon as Phase 2 started, you just mentioned that SDK really stepping up, and him being alive right now means that it's a big threat for the side of Furia. E1D pops KZ's on the hunt. He's trying to find something in return. There's a player coming in from the side of Customs. Is he aware? Yes, he is. Finds the kill beautifully onto Basetto. Now SDK, the last man standing in a 1v3. They think they have site control, but they have no clue how close SDK is. He finds one, not the second though, as Hurt shuts him down.
Still 2 minutes. They need to try and contest this. If they can get one on a fadeaway, it's huge. And well, you can see that Basetto's just trying to weigh up his options, but they're around him, they're behind him, and it doesn't really matter. Flastry's been able to come up and get some support in here, a 3 versus 2, but it is just Flastry left. He has had some huge clutches for Razah on their drive towards this series, drive throughout this tournament, but Furia finally find an end to their map pick. Razah made them work for it though. And maybe try and go for a sneaky plant on the side of the chassis. They're spraying through and they're actually just in the middle. The C4 is perfect though. Played it safe, the fire was there, and it was a good idea from Razah to try and move against expectation, but it has unfortunately fallen a bit short. 15 seconds. Has to recollect the gadget, hit the mirror window, go close. There's another spray around the side, but a trade out. The body balance is in their favor. They've just got to try and play this time perfectly. There's the lockdown. Our game this way. We take it out and take you out, KZ. Double down live, and Basetto found outside. Perez and Flastry fall immediately after by Philippux. SDK comes off his drone, and all of his friends are dead.
Like the friend that logs in slightly too late for gaming night and everybody's gone. A flawless as KZ drops a
tucked around by the quad wall, waiting for an appearance of them, but Furia too little too late. There's trade outs to drop down, but now suddenly it's 40 seconds, and it doesn't matter where the flank is. They've got 2 bodies. Perez and Basetto, all that's standing, and now just Basetto trying to lock it down as they creep their way through the middle of the side. He's doing his best, gets one. Gets the spraying cord out, though. A good and valiant drive is unfortunately met by a Furia reinvigorated and reapplying themselves. I said it before, probably go for the coverage. They're going to say, look, this is where we are. Try and stop us. They have, obviously, the Maestro bubbles, more Goyo canisters, and this is going to be, what, 30 seconds left, roughly, by the time they start to go for the end of this. The play, the destruction onto the mirror position. There's more time, there's more waste, there's more watch on towards a fight on the hatch itself. Herds, aggressive position, but he wins it out. They lose Flastry. They lose any of that vertical cover. It is now a flat lateral push, and if Furia find out about this, which they do, they rotate their way up. It's being pinged, but what do? 20 seconds. You have to send somebody to go for it, but KZ beats them out, and now it is just Basetto left, and he is forced back and further away, as is their gets thrown out, and a third. They're truly going to play with that swing, and there's the swing covered, but cannot get the connection. JV92 and Nade both take a lot of damage. Fusetto with the kit drives his way up, and he just wants to tuck on that desk. As I said before, there's still pressure and a hold here. 25 seconds. If this doesn't land, the round will collapse for Razah. They have the first body. They have a second as well, as they're going for the retake round the back, but it is only Nade that gets one out before he's traded for Leapbox. All that is left. He's around the side of stock. He's got a long journey to make, and that was a great systematic control from Razah. The other two Razah players, I believe, are on different window repels, trying to get a pinch. Fusetto is in tricky situation if Furia realize, and there's the swing that Hertz gets locked in. Live finally makes a way in. The other players on the roof right now. Oh no, they're not. They're dead. Cells level, and now that gives them a bit of an option to, well, maybe instead of trying to fight a Glaz in the tricky terrain, let's push elsewhere. Let's find a fight on other players.
Also rotate coming in from the side of Furia, though. I think they just realized that they are going for that tall hold. There's one or two maybe on the site itself. Nade is looking for some verticality. He's going to be opening up some of these hatches. Is aware of the fact that someone could be coming up blue at any time. Also aware of someone inside of the archives, it seems, as he's creeping himself around slowly. Perez is in a perfect position to not be spotted, but he sees the shadow. The shadow is giving away the game. So they should be aware of the fact that he's there. Yeah, it's being pinged. So they know he's inside of archives. It's just that blue stairs is a bit of an issue. Smoke grenade will be used to cover that up. They're going to see if they can try and isolate Perez.
There's the cut across. There's the fight. Nade tears Perez's head off. 50 seconds, and the tool hold is starting to shake, starting to quiver. And with STK getting KZ, well, importantly, they win out the back of this approach. Now it's going to have to be very direct here from Furia. They don't have the Glaz to sort of operate and picking them as they flee. They've got some space to play around with. At this point, though, how are they going to try and drop into the engagement? You know, the goo mines, the Fenrirs might be able to slow some of this approach, but as we've seen, a lot of that is actually displayed and baited across the top two stories here. 20 seconds, and it's just going to turn into a drop and a fight. And well, they're eyeing up the soft hatch on the vault, and Live is below it. Gets can't find either. Nade had the cover, but 9 seconds, and all they have to do is hide, wait, and bay. Will they even make it to the site in time? SDK can't get the down on one, but two, and he runs around. SDK. That jiggle, that fight, that approach Live on the door. He's sort of making his presence known and not suffering on it. Flastry gets KZ. They're pulled into the engagement. The impact does a bit of damage, but they cannot find the route through. The mirror window gives some of the game. There's one for JV92. There's the trade out, but they're locked down, and again, a handful of seconds. The long watch from Furia nets a reward. They're able to get themselves in, but what else can you do for Leapbox? Nothing, because it's just not given to you. Razah, 2 in a row. Now only 2 between them and Furia.
Finding himself in the archives this time, Shadow hasn't given away yet.
They're concerned about a rotate underneath, and KZ gets the first, and now, well, he's caught that rotate, and he's going to try and catch the players itself a minute. They have that opening body, they have their second, and they're throwing themselves in towards the back. Fusetto gets one, there goes SDK, Live finds one, and Perez fights his way back in, but can't get the corner, can't get it. And Live has a choice, has an option, and he's opted to unfortunately find himself in the middle of an engagement. JV knew he was coming, and what might now come next. The line, Furia, they're getting their coverage in, they're trying to blind it out, but the C4 is not linking its way through.
Fire.
They're downed, and it's a post-plant situation. Slipped away from Razah, slipping away steadily and steadily as they go for the rotate, and the fire burns, but JV92, he knows what he has to do here. It is wait, and it is bait. There's one, there's two. Flastry, all that is left to keep Razah in the upper bracket, but they're all around him. They're experienced, they're locked in. Furia confirm themselves as our first upper bracket finalist at SI 2025. They are looking better and better and better. Will they look like the best? Well, they're trying to prove that as they